Hello YouTube, my name is Joshua Sutton and I'm a paranormal fiction author coming today with a YouTube channel. This is going to be where I talk about writing, books, what I'm reading, what's on my Kindle, blah blah blah, everything like that. So I wanted to introduce you to my books first, currently the three I have out and the one that is in progress, and then we'll get a bit more into talking about me. So I have three books out at the moment, which are these three. They comprise the In Memory trilogy. I'll go over each one by one. So the first one in the trilogy is obviously the self-titled In Memory, published in 2015 by Immortal Publishing. This is now obviously self-published by myself as the company went bust. The brief overview of the plot of this novel is that Sarah Summers was a normal young lady until her husband and daughter die. Then she's incarcerated in a mental institution whereby she's experimented on by the owner, who has occult intentions and knowledge. There she is possessed by a demon named Cornelius, who essentially doesn't want to do what he's told, and therefore the two form an uneasy alliance to get the hell out of there. The second book in the trilogy is Shadowborn, which the events follows 15 years after the events of In Memory. Excuse me. Those events are then compounded into the following story, whereby Sarah has disappeared and Marcus is back, therefore a good read. My personal favourite of the trilogy. Then coming on to the last book. Now this is a slightly thinner book than the rest of the three, but this is the continuation which I self-published in February this year, called Shards of Shaz'uul. Now Shards of Shaz'uul was a book, it took me a long time to write, and despite its length was the hardest of the trilogy to write, as I'd been working on this book and the finale of that trilogy for the past 3 years, and it was a very hard thing to write and put down into words. But anyway, those are the three books I have currently published. Now on to my fourth book. Now my fourth book is called Cameraman. Don't know when that will be released yet, but that's a paranormal thriller about a guy with a photographic memory who helps solve crimes that normal people cannot solve. Now onto me as a person and as an author. I've been writing since I can remember, really. It's all I've ever wanted to do, and it was something that took a great deal of time for me to realise that I was actually going to pursue it. As a childhood dream, it was always what I wanted to do. When I was in year 6 in primary school, they said, "What do you want to be when you're older?" And the usual footballer, hairdresser, astronaut came up, and there was me with a book in the corner being the typical nerd going, "I want to write books." And I strayed away from that. I went to university, studied music. Is my other passion in life is music. I love music. I love listening to music, playing music. You name it, I just love it. And yeah, I got my degree in it. I moved out of home at 23 and was unemployed and started writing, and thus In Memory came about. Now I mentioned Immortal Publishing earlier in the video. Now Immortal Publishing was the publishing company that picked me up for my first book, In Memory, and they actually were going to publish the whole trilogy, but as I mentioned, they went bust, which was a sad thing for me, as it was very hard then to write Shards of Shaz'uul, knowing that I'd have to do it off my own back. But I eventually did it with the help of people close to me, contacts I'd made from Immortal Publishing, and good friends, and people like that. People really motivated me. So what inspired me to do this YouTube channel? Well, a combination of things. I noticed I was getting very close to 800 likes on my Facebook page, and I haven't really done much for that Facebook page, so I thought, you know what, this would be a good thing to bring my fans, as I've got a significant number of them now, more than I ever expected, and this journey's been amazing so far, and long may it continue. So what do I like to read? Well, I read everything from Dean Koontz to Brian Jacks to Rachel Vincent. She writes a really good, her Shifter series is amazing, and I do recommend it to everyone. I am currently reading Jim Butcher's Stormfront. Stormfront? That's the name of the first book. So tell a lie, I am currently reading Jim Butcher's Dresden Files series, which I'm really enjoying. I've read a lot of other things. Currently I'm also reading an indie trilogy by a good friend of mine, Sabrina Samples, The Wicked Soul Saga. I highly recommend that. It's a fantastic paranormal romance for those of you who are into that sort of thing. I'm also reading Elsie Morgan. Her books are amazing. I've got a lot of friends who write books, and I support them all where I can. So that's a little bit about me. as an author. Now, what can you expect from this channel? This is going to be the real life being an author, what it's like, the coming in, the writer's block, the everything. I'm going to be very frank and raw about this. There will be books. I will mention books I'm reading, inspiration I'm getting. It'll just be like a vlog kind of thing. I hope to upload 1 or 2 videos a week. Just for fun. Anyway, we're coming to the end of the video now, but if you want to find me, all my links are going to be down in the description below, where you'll have links to my Facebook page, my Amazon, where you can find all 3 copies, all of the In Memory trilogy. In Memory is currently free on Kindle Unlimited for those of you who like a little bit of paranormal fiction, so I'd highly recommend that. And my Patreon. Now, my Patreon I've started. The reward tiers are still in the works, but basically the rewards are still the same. I'm looking to do a lot of things like Google Hangouts, live streaming on YouTube, all sorts of things for people discussing books and writing and how to plot, and really setting out what sets you from saying I want to be an author to I am an author. So I hope you've enjoyed this little insight into what it's like to be an author and me and my books. I hope to catch you next week. I don't really have a topic set for next week, but I'll probably think of something. Anyway, for now, this is Joshua Sutton, author, signing out, and I will see you soon. I hope you have a nice day.